but Voodoo Glow Skulls is a band that, like, the cover art really grabbed my attention. I'm from Houston, so I'm around a lot of Latin, Mexican imagery and food and music, and so like that music was something I just naturally wanted to hear. Okay, so my honorable mentions was going to be one of them was going to be Voodoo Glow Skulls. I'm going to put the Voodoo Glow Skulls on the top, number 5.
Okay,
So
how the hell did I not have them? By the way,
I was very surprised that you didn't.
Okay. You can take Boss Stones off and no, I'm just kidding.
Boy, I'm gonna bang myself in the head. Okay, so number 5 is gonna be, and I do put these in order of relevance. Voodoo Glow Skulls. They're like a 90s staple in my Discman. They had 2 albums specifically that I really loved, which was Firm and Band Geek Mafia, and then they had Southern California street music later that was just as important to me. They are like a SoCal punk, ska punk band with a Latin flavor and a little bit of metal involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they are through and through a ska punk band. Like every song almost has got ska chords in it, and they're very much a punk band. But Voodoo Glow Skulls is a band that, like, the cover art really grabbed my attention. I'm from Houston, so I'm around a lot of Latin, Mexican imagery and food and music, and so like that music was something I just naturally wanted to hear. When I got their album in the shop recently, it came with 2 LPs, and one was English version, one was Spanish version. I thought that was pretty awesome. So I'll talk about my former number 5 when I get down to honorable mentions here in a minute. Hopefully I won't forget. But Voodoo Glow Skulls, boy, I tell you, that band is really good live. What is your opinion on Voodoo Glow Skulls, Rob?
Pretty similar. I was going to mention like the Hispanic thing as well, because they're just very California in that way. It's a little bit of thrash metal. Their imagery is kind of like that. I would solid perform at like a wrestling event with a lucha libre.
Oh, dude, they do a lot of that stuff.
And
that's
it's just
jam.
Like, and they kind of get after it too. It's not as tight always as like as you're thinking of, as you say, jam. That's kind of, and you see it, and they do that kind of thing. Tons of charisma, tons of like,
yeah,
you know, the same thing that like Suicidal Tendencies have, but like, you know, channeled within like a ska punk frame.
Dude, their music is so fast. I mean, din, 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 the horns are, it's just so. But yeah, man, Voodoo Glow Skulls is a very, very good band. I think that they represent a lot of people. I think a lot of bands spawned from the Voodoo Glow Skulls. I think that they helped a lot of the Mexican punk bands become what they were. Because in Mexico, a lot of the punk bands that I've heard, I don't say a lot, but a handful of the bands that I've heard that are from Mexico will be straight up punk bands, and then they'll have like a random horn, like a trumpet, in the punk band, not a ska punk band, but it's just like a straight punk band with a horn in it. It's awesome, and they have a lot of Latin like flavor in their music, and they make it. You can tell it is from Mexico. It's awesome.
Well, those are the Latin countries is where ska kind of never fully died, and where it kind of has lived a little bit, and it's probably because honestly of the shared like instrumentation and the, you know, you can kind of see, you know, like when I go see like my uncle's band, you know, down here, they have a trumpet in their band. You know what I mean? It's you know, they're not a ska band, but it's the only one I know other than a ska band that's got a trumpet in the band and a guitar, right? You know, in the same.
I mean, it's wild. Let's see here. There's a band from Houston. I can't remember their name. I mean, my memory is failing me today. Let's see.
But yeah, like, you know,
Los Carnales is. I was like, they're like a Latin band. Like that band's been around since like 93, 94, 95, something like that. Around the time Rancid really popped off, Los Carnales was a thing, and they're still playing now. You know, from Houston, like you said, it never really died off. That was kind of my point.
A lot of organs and accordions.
A lot of that stuff, all of that music, man. Sorry, I'm very ADHD right now. I'm like looking around for stuff. But yeah, Los Carnales is another band that's really important to that subgenre. But Voodoo Glow Skulls, man, I love that dude's vocals. They have good lyrics. Yeah, man, Southern California street music, bro. That band's fire, bro.
I will move on. Like a party,
right, dude? Straight up.